Hey guys, it's Mr. Lancaster here, and we are back for another little science adventure. We're going to see something new today. I'm going to read you an article that I didn't get to read last time because my news ELA was messing up on me. And then we're going to go on to a new question, and it's going to be about mosquitoes. It's really interesting. You can spend hours studying about this stuff, and yeah, I'm not going to waste any more time. When we get there, I'll talk about it more. It's really cool, trust me. Okay, so let me share my screen with you. So we left off with the bee dance, and if you remember, I don't know for sure if the YouTube video came out weird because sometimes it doesn't let me, because of copyright, like the videos won't come out smooth on YouTube because it's copyrighted. So sometimes it comes out like staticky and shaky, and it skips lots of scenes. But yeah, so we left off on that, and also about ants, because there was 3 reasons that things stay in groups, and one reason was for protection, another reason was for food, and the third reason was because of environmental reasons, like lots of ants together do a lot of amazing things. So this article is Ants to the Rescue, Saving One Another in a Battle Against Termites. So Maida Bell ants attack. Here the ants are invading a nest where termites search for food. Photo from Wikimedia Commons. One second. The Maida Bell ants are a type of ant from Africa. They are fierce hunters, but that is not the only thing that makes them special. These ants rescue their wounded friends, a new study found. The study was done by a team of scientists. They are from a university in Germany. The study was published in U.S. Science magazine on April 12. The ant's scientific name is Megaponura analis. That's Greek. I don't know why they always name animals Greek. I think I'm going to research that and I'm going to get back to you on that, but I've always wondered that. So they're common in Africa. You can find them south of the Sahara Desert. Actually, I changed that back. It's either Greek or Latin. I can't remember. So here's a photo of these ants. Really big photo. So the ants march in a long line looking for termites. 2 to 4 times a day, the ants set out in a long single file line. Together they look for termites. They march to places where termites like to look for food. When the ants arrive, they attack. The termites are prepared though. There are 2 kinds of termites. There's worker termites that hunt for food, and there's soldier termites which protect the workers. When the ants attack the workers, the soldiers fight back. These soldiers have strong jaws. They can kill or hurt ants who get too close. SOS signal. The ants do not leave their wounded friends behind. They have developed a way to rescue one another. No other insect help one another this way, as far as scientists know. It's a completely unique behavior. When a Maida Bell ant is hurt in a fight, it calls for help. It does this by releasing chemicals from its body. To ants, this is kind of an SOS signal. The injured ant will be carried back to the nest, then it will get treatment. Sometimes the termite that bit the ant will still be holding on. They're pretty determined. Treatment usually just means getting rid of the termite, the scientist said. Colony is the most important thing. So ants are social creatures, and they live in huge groups called colonies. They don't usually care about each other individually. Usually, Eric Frank said. He is one of the scientists who worked on the study. To ants, the colony is the most important thing. It is more important than any one ant. The Maida Bell ants are different, though. They work hard to save each other. Their rescue service must pay off for the colony as a whole, the scientist said. So the whole reason they do this and they save other ants is because they feel like this helps the whole colony as a whole anyway. So moving off of ants, those little some people find them pesky. I kind of like them. They're kind of cool to me as long as they're not fire ants. But moving off of them, we're going to talk about something else that's pretty pesky and can be pretty dangerous, and that is the mosquito. So if you go to my Google Classroom, and you go to classwork, and then you go to science linked activities, and you can go to Mystery 7, what's the best way to get rid of mosquitoes? Click on the link, and let's get started.
Hi, it's Doug. Have you ever had this happen? You're playing outside when you start to feel an itch on your shoulder. You go to scratch it, not really thinking too much about it, but instead of going away, the itch gets worse. You take a closer look and notice this, a big bump. It's a mosquito bite. So many times when I was a kid, I got excited about playing outside in the summer, and I'd forget about the mosquitoes. I'd come home with mosquito bites all over my arms and legs, and they'd itch so bad. Even when I sprayed mosquito repellent, or if I wore clothes to cover my skin, it seemed like I always still got at least a bite or two. Here's a mosquito up close. Mosquitoes have this tiny mouth that's almost like a needle. They stick that through your skin, but it's so small, sometimes you don't even feel it when they're biting you. Afterwards, though, you can definitely tell when you've been bitten. The bite starts to itch. Most people agree, mosquitoes are incredibly annoying. It's certainly no fun to get a mosquito bite. But a few years ago, I was really surprised when I saw a report in the news. It claimed that the most dangerous animal on Earth is, well, you'd think, what? Lions? Sharks, maybe? Snakes? Nope. It's mosquitoes. Really, I thought? Mosquitoes? Annoying is one thing, but dangerous? How could such a small insect be dangerous? What do you think?
So how do you think mosquitoes could be dangerous? I don't want to give anything away yet, but think about, what does a mosquito do? Okay, so mosquitoes, they get on you and then they want to drink your blood, right? Why do they do this? Because they want to make more mosquito babies, and that's why they do it. If you don't know, actually the only mosquitoes that bite you are female mosquitoes. The male mosquitoes don't even bite you. They actually they're kind of like bees. They just get nectar and other things from flowers. So that's how they get their food mainly. And just the females bite you. But what would happen if you have this mosquito that's biting someone, or even many people or many things, and then it gets on you? Just think about, where this mosquito been this whole time? How would you know like it's safe that it's on you? What about all these things?
About 200 years ago, there was a camp of soldiers from the French army, and many of them were getting sick. It was almost as if they had a bad case of the flu. The soldiers all had a fever, chills, headaches. Some of them were vomiting. Some soldiers got so sick that they died. This was very serious. No one could figure out where the disease was coming from. The army camp was located near a swamp, so some people thought the disease might be coming from the stinky swamp air. They named the disease malaria, from the words mala aria, which meant bad air. But at the time, no one understood what really caused malaria. The army asked a doctor, Dr. Alphonse Laveran, to see if he could figure out what was causing the soldiers to get sick. Dr. Laveran started his investigation by looking at the soldiers' blood under a microscope. Usually, this is what blood looks like under a microscope. But in soldiers with the disease, Dr. Laveran noticed that this is what their blood looked like. You notice those strange dark dots? When Dr. Laveran looked more closely, he realized that those dots were actually microscopic parasites, a type of germ, and he thought these might be what's causing the malaria disease. But to stop more soldiers from getting sick, Dr. Laveran had to figure out, where were these germs coming from? He went to the swamp and he checked everywhere. He checked the air, he checked the water, he checked the soil, but he couldn't find these germs in any of these places. Then he realized the swamp had more than just bad-smelling air. It had lots of mosquitoes. They were everywhere. Could it be that the mosquitoes were carrying these germs?
Mosquitoes.
Even though mosquitoes suck blood out of a person, when they do that, some of the mosquitoes' saliva or spit gets into a person's body. So if mosquitoes did carry any microscopic germs inside their bodies, that means those germs might get passed straight into someone's blood when a mosquito bites. Years later, Dr. Laveran's idea was proven correct. Mosquitoes were responsible for spreading the germs that cause malaria. And it's not just malaria. Mosquitoes were discovered to carry germs that cause other diseases too. Diseases with names you might have heard of, like West Nile virus, Zika virus, and yellow fever. So mosquitoes aren't dangerous because their bite makes you itch. They're dangerous because their bite can spread germs that cause different kinds of diseases.
Okay, so he said their bite's dangerous because they can carry diseases and give it to other people.
Every year, over 500 million people still get sick from diseases spread by mosquitoes. Luckily, scientists have discovered medicines that can help people get healthy again if they do get some of these diseases. But it's still very serious. If people don't get medical help, some of these diseases can lead to death. In trying to learn more about diseases spread by mosquitoes, scientists have noticed that many of these diseases are more common in some places in the world than in other places. For example, this map shows the places where malaria is most common. Notice how all of these places are places near the middle regions of the Earth, places near the equator. These are the warmest places on Earth.
Okay.
What we call the tropics.
So like you said, this is the tropics. We are all the way up here. That's us. This is where North Carolina is. This is the United States here, this big, big one piece. And then North Carolina's here. This little thing at the bottom here is Florida. You can see just at the bottom of Florida, it's in the tropics. So that's why you always hear that Florida is so hot and so warm, because it's part of the tropics. It's just barely on the edge. And the higher up you go, the colder it gets. So up here is Canada, and it gets really cold in Canada. Or up here is Russia, it gets pretty cold in Russia. The higher up you go, the colder. And then once you get closer to the center, then again it gets hot. And then when you go away from the center, the lower you go, the colder it gets again.
Although mosquitoes are found.
So here is a picture of the tropics right here. This pink part right here. This is the tropics. And the top of the tropic is called the Tropic of Cancer, and the bottom is the Tropic of Capricorn. Why is those names? I have no idea. If you want to know, you should do a little research and check it out. I was told once, but I can't remember exactly why. I think it had to do with the people who founded it. So let's get back to this then.
All over the world, except Antarctica, the tropics have the most mosquitoes, which might explain why diseases carried by mosquitoes are more common in the tropics. But why would that be? Why would there be more mosquitoes living in the tropics compared to other places? What do you think?
All right, we're going to leave off on that question. Why do you think there's more mosquitoes in tropical places? Tropical places are places that are hot and warm and usually very moist and humid, has lots of water in the air. Why do you think there's more mosquitoes in those places? Yeah, I can't say anything. I'm going to give it away. So just think about it, or you can research it. That's also fine. And then we're going to come back next video. All right, see you guys. Bye.